Hello and welcome to another episode of Hessy and Maven. I'm Justin.
I'm Raven.
And on this week's episode, we are talking about our top 5 movie soundtracks.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the second time we've recorded this.
It is. So last week we had some technical difficulties. It's all Raven's fault. Her mic is stupid. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It was your mic's fault, though, but it's not your fault. Raven's mic was just picking up all of my noise. Also, like everything I was saying, her mic was also picking up. So then it sounded very echoey. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't worth the amount of time it would have taken for me to edit it. And it was just like, you know what? We just need to get a new mic and figure it out.
But I have a new mic now.
Yeah. So let us know if everything sounds better. I think it sounds better. I mean, otherwise this episode wouldn't come out like the last one. But anyway, so yeah, favorite movie soundtracks. Remember, gang, Hessy and Maven, we're not just a podcast. We have a YouTube. We have a TikTok. We have an email address, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. Send us in an email or comment on one of our socials or something like that. What's your favorite movie soundtrack and why? You know? Maybe when we go through our lists, you're like, you guys missed the biggest one. What is it? And I'll tell you right now, if it's Saturday Night Fever, Dad, it's just not our style of music. Because that's what I've realized when I was looking through lists and lists and lists of movie soundtracks. Mm-hmm. So many of them, I was like, what the hell is this?
It's just a bunch of movies I've never seen.
I'm so sorry, but yeah, I don't care about this at all. Because that's what you come to Hessy and Maven for. 2 siblings just talking about movies and television and that kind of stuff who are not experts. I don't know anything about music, really.
Yeah.
And we're just having fun. We're just giving you our opinions because art is subjective. So that same goes for these soundtracks. Now, we did have some criteria going into this. The way that it works in our heads, at least, is we're picking soundtracks that were not specifically written and performed for that movie. So, for example, there's no like Disney films on our lists. Mm-hmm. Lion King, Little Mermaid, a lot of Disney songs have incredible music. Moana.
Disney movies.
Didn't Moana win Best Song? Like an Oscar?
Probably.
Or something like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, like we didn't pick those because those were created specifically for that movie. What we're kind of going for is like when a director says, hey, you know that song by this band? That song would work perfect in our movie at this scene, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of the vibe we're going for. So, yeah. What are your favorite soundtracks? Let us know. hessyandmaven@gmail.com. Also, if you're listening to the podcast, wherever you're listening to it, 5 stars. If you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button.
Oh my God.
Subscribe. I hate it when people say that. Yes.
Also, I wanted to mention that the creepy bald guy did resign.
You need to be so much more specific.
From the Spanish Football Federation.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Luis something, who kissed the Spanish football player like a weirdo creep.
Yeah, Hermoso.
Yeah,
Jenny Hermoso.
Which
yes.
is great news because he's gross.
We loved that. We loved 2 very exciting things happened in sports recently that I'm a big fan of. Number 1, the 2 disgusting men who were both the president of the Spanish Football Federation and the coach of the women's international team both resigned. Thank goodness. Enough pressure apparently
I think the coach got fired.
to them. Regardless, whatever the semantics are, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Have fun doing something else. Although, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like they'll just be a coach somewhere else or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's 1. Mm-hmm. We love to see that. Accountability is huge. Mm-hmm. Number 2, Coco Gauff. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm so sorry, Coco.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Raven.
Sorry.
Can't hit the mic.
There's a bunch of cords around me now.
I asked if it was going to be annoying before we started recording. You said no.
What's the other option?
I don't know.
Exactly.
We need gaffer tape.
Okay.
So that we can tape it under the desk and then it'll be unseen.
Okay.
Anyway, and she won the U.S. Open in tennis singles. And, congratulations to her. We love that. I love that for her. I'm so happy that she did that. I don't follow tennis super, super close. So if you're not like Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, or Djokovic, Serena Williams, Venus Williams,
is the
Maria
U.S. Open
Sharapova,
men versus women?
No.
Or is it gendered?
It's gendered like every fucking sport.
So it's like she won the female U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Okay.
She won the U.S. Open singles for women.
Got it.
But I've never been a fan of how sports sometimes will, like, when people say the FIFA World Cup, they almost always mean men.
The men.
And then you have to specify the Women's World Cup, the women's. And I hate that. It's women's basketball. It's never just basketball. Because no one says men's basketball. So I hate shit like that.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway. Now, let's get into a little bit of trivia about soundtracks. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to read you a question. I'm going to give you 3 multiple choice options. And then I'm going to do a little song. And when the song is done, you can put your guess in. Okay? That way the listeners and viewers at home can also participate. Okay? Also, I love your mug.
Thank you so much.
We are full code orange here.
It's a little ghosty.
Probably won't decorate our podcast desk because it's also my desk in my room that I use for other things. So I probably won't decorate it for Halloween until October. But then we will, and it'll be decorated for all of October.
Very good.
And we're thinking for October to do all, like,
spooky
Halloween-themed episodes. But the interesting thing is, neither of us like scary movies.
Yeah.
So
be creative.
That's going to be really interesting. Maybe we can do an episode on... Have you ever seen scary movies, though?
Some.
Do you have feelings about it? Do you feel like we can do an episode on, like, scary movies we've seen and, like, how it made us feel and stuff?
Probably.
We could do an episode, maybe. We'll think about it. But that's the fun part, gang, is that we're part of a community, and it's called Hessy Maven. All right? So come in here, send us emails, comment below, and let us know sort of, like, what movie, TV show themes you want us to talk about. Do you want us to talk about our favorite rom-coms? Do you want to talk our favorite coming-of-age films? Or, like, anything. You know what I mean? Is there a movie or a TV show you think we should check out? And then we can come in and we can review it. Last week, I did a review of Joker. And all I had to say about it was... I mean, I talked for 20 minutes, which was too long than that movie deserves. But, like, it was, like, a decent movie... If you're not not looking for anything deep and you're just kind of like, I'm just going with the vibes, then it's like, whatever. Yeah, it's a good movie. And it looked great. Cinematography wise, like the colors, the costuming, everything like that was beautiful. Soundtrack was pretty good. The acting was on point. Everyone crushed the acting. It was just the main plot and like storyline that I was like, meh. And I can see why, that sound that is, or at least went viral on TikTok, where people would be like, the way that men acted about the Joker, this is my Joker.
Yeah.
And it was like, whether it was the Barbie movie or like different things that came out. I get it. I get why that sound became popular, and I get why this movie is probably loved by people who shout from the screen, the mountaintops, that they are alphas. Like the people who have to tell you that they're alpha, and they put it in their bio.
You know what I would like to be your Joker?
What?
Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to watch the first one though.
Oh yeah.
To reacclimate.
Yeah.
I love stop animation.
Yeah.
like that kind of claymation, stop animation kind of stuff.
I sent you a TikTok earlier. You know that British woman that I love? She's a doctor and she's got a really long face.
Oh,
like a button nose.
I absolutely do. Yes.
She posted a clip where she looks just like one of the main women from Chicken Run.
Yeah.
And it's so accurate.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
I'm sorry for her, but yes, that is.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the human women, right? It's
yeah.
like the evil woman.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks for her, but hilarious all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait. Anyway, let's get into some soundtrack trivia.
Okay.
Exit out of these tabs on how to connect a new mic. Okay. Is that the first one? This is the first one. Okay. And you can't see my screen, right?
No.
Okay, perfect. Ready for the first question. Which rock band was Waiting for a Girl Like You on the soundtrack to the film Footloose? I don't like the way that question was worded, but okay. Let me start again. Which rock band did the song Waiting for a Girl Like You on the soundtrack to the film Footloose? Was it A, Metallica, B, Foreigner, or C, Journey? Bum, 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 bum.
Foreigner?
Correct. It was Foreigner. Well done.
Thank you.
Next question.
I'm ready.
Which film had the first commercially issued film soundtrack?
Okay.
Was it A, Star Wars, B, Grease, or C, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Bum, 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 bum.
Commercially issued?
Yeah.
Star Wars? Is it Snow White?
Correct. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I was going to guess that, but then I felt like that one was in there to throw me off.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
All right. Question number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know who wrote these trivia quiz questions, so if there's some kind of inaccuracy, please be gentle, okay? Because this one has, like, numbers involved, and it's just like, calm down if it's not 100% accurate to this day. Anyway, next question. The 4th biggest selling album of all time is the soundtrack to which 1992 film? Is it A, Dirty Dancing, B, Grease, or C, The Bodyguard? Bum, 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 bum.
Grease?
Incorrect.
What is it?
The Bodyguard. Ooh.
Gross.
Have you ever even heard of that movie?
I thought it was a show with the brother who died from Game
Robb
of Thrones.
Stark.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think that show is also called The Bodyguard.
Okay.
This is a movie that came out in 1992 starring Whitney Houston.
Oh.
And apparently it's like it came up every list I was looking at for inspiration on soundtracks. A lot of my soundtracks I came up with organically, but every once in a while I like to look at the lists because sometimes they'll like spur things on, or like we'll do these episodes where it's like top 5 TV shows, and then like 2 months later I'm like, oh, that show. And I'm like, damn it, like can we do this episode again? So I like looking at the lists, but
I was too little for the Whitney Houston love, so I
understand that.
Yeah.
I just recognize I also was quite young. I mean, 1992, I was, depending on the month, I was either 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah, I wasn't alive
when this came out. Yeah. But anyway. All right. I have 2 more questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
The song When You Believe by Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston is from which movie soundtrack?
Okay.
Is it A, GoldenEye, B, The Prince of Egypt, or C, Flashdance? Bum, 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 bum.
Mariah Carey and who?
Whitney Houston.
Flashdance?
Incorrect. The Prince of Egypt.
Oh.
You've never seen that, right? I remember me and Tony talk to you about it sometimes because we both think it's so good.
Yeah, Aaron Bloodgood loves it too. I think maybe it was put on in some class I had where our substitute just put a movie on, but I don't remember. I can see it in my head, like the animation.
Good. Yeah. It's surprisingly good for being if anybody were to come to you and be like, "Hey, they made a cartoon movie about this really important scene in the Bible."
Yeah.
Then I imagine you'd be like, "I'd probably pass."
Yeah.
I mean, have fun.
It's okay.
Have fun. God bless. But no, thank you.
Yeah.
But it is so good. But anyway, last question.
I'm ready.
The Jurassic Park movie was composed by whom? Is it A, Hans Zimmer, B, John Williams, or C, Bill Bailey? Bum, 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 bum.
John Williams.
Nailed it. John Williams. Good job.
Ended on a good note.
Ended on a good note.
Ended on a bang.
All right. So without further ado, I think we should get into our top 5 movie soundtracks.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about your selection process.
It's really just about if I can bop to the songs and maybe download them and listen to them in the car and know the words.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's songs that I can eventually sing along to and do kind of this.
A little bit of shimmy, a little bit of shake.
Yeah.
I get that. Would you say that you're a person with rhythm?
No.
Okay.
Not even a little.
That's fair.
Yeah. I find myself out of step when I'm doing Cotton Eye Joe stuff, and that's how I know it's
Joe and the cha-cha slide.
Yeah, that's how I know
Everybody clap your hands. And Raven's like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's really not good.
What are you doing?
But
that's really funny.
Yeah, so it's really just vibes. It's purely vibes, whether I like music. I mean, there are some movies I've seen that have good music, but that adds to the scene. But if it's a sad movie where in the background is a Lana Del Rey mopey song.
Raven hates Lana Del Rey.
I don't know
Tony,
how I feel about her as a person.
Tony, don't worry. I'm going to defend you. I'm going to defend her honor. Raven, shut the hell up.
But I hate her music.
You're crazy. So good.
I will give her one pass for the popular TikTok song of hers where there's a line that says, now my life is sweet like cinnamon. You know that TikTok song?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That's her one pass.
That TikTok song.
Every other song of hers I can't stand. But I don't like songs where the vibe is mostly like that. Where it's ghosty and moany. I hate that.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying though, because I think that is similar to my selection process as well, where it was, I do think that it should add to the movie. I think it should work in the movie as opposed to if they chose this song and I'm like, oh, I love that song, but it's trash in the movie. It doesn't make sense in the movie. And it's just oh, you're just forcing a popular song into the movie. I don't like that. But I also did want to make sure to choose songs that that I could listen to independently of the movie and enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or one of mine, it's really just it has a lot of nostalgia and also I really do love the songs, but I wouldn't call it, and I want to bring this up really quickly. I wouldn't call it car music.
Okay.
Now let me ask you this. Is there music that you like that you do not like in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Car music has to be music. This makes me sound like a mental case, but car music has to be music where the voice is louder than the instrumentals. And I can learn all the words and belt them out very loudly.
Okay. If
it's a heavy instrumental,
yeah,
where you can like not really hear the voice, or if it's like like Alyssa will listen to a lot of Khalid in the car, Khalid.
I'm familiar.
Okay. I wanted to specify because
DJ Khalid.
Yeah,
is what I thought of.
Yeah, not him.
Another one. You played yourself.
And I don't think that he's car music because his voice is too quiet.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So
I agree with you on many notes. Okay. I think that would prefer to sing along, although sometimes I just don't know the words, and that's okay. It depends. And sometimes, but it needs to be like upbeat. It needs to be upbeat and fun. Like the last thing I want to listen to is like sad ballads or like love songs or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be like fun.
Yeah.
I'm driving. I want to have a good time.
Oh, it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll get really in my feels after like a bad day of work. Ugh. And if I'm like crying in the car, I will put on a lot of sad songs like the Happiest Ever After or whatever by Billie Eilish.
Oh my god.
Do you know that song?
Yeah.
I have the Kelly Clarkson version on my phone where she sings it.
Okay.
And I will scream it out in the car, and it's very emotional.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's just me.
That's just you. No. That's okay. All right. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. My number 5. I was surprised as anyone that I chose this. But I genuinely think the soundtrack is very good. And I chose Twilight.
Yeah, the soundtrack is excellent. The fact that I didn't pick this for my list is a crime. But it is an incredible soundtrack.
I for sure thought this would be maybe an overlap.
No, yeah, it's such a good soundtrack. They have that song that's like,
You're welcome.
It's the ultimate fall. I see so many TikToks where it's like when the weather starts to feel like then you know fall has arrived.
Fall has arrived.
Yeah, because it's time for cloudy, rainy days and watching Twilight inside.
Yeah, where it's Seattle and in the woods and
rainy and misty.
Or Washington or whatever. But yeah. No, 100%. I see that all the time where it's like the weather is a certain way and you see the people doing their like best Bella impressions where they're like,
yeah, and her weird face. I can't. Weird. I do love Kristen Stewart though. I will not slander her.
Oh,
I love her so much. Yeah.
I went through multiple phases.
I remember a phase where you hated her. Anytime I brought her up, you would be like, I cursed her name.
Yeah,
I hate her.
I did. It was a roller coaster ride of emotions because I remember seeing her in a really weird movie.
Zathura.
Before Zathura, Raven. let me tell my story. Okay. So, no, it was this movie really early on in her career where it was like her and 2 boys, and they had to, what's it called? They were stealing something. I can't remember what they were. It was like a heist movie. Oh man, it's called Catch That Kid.
Oh,
in 2004
with the kid from Hunger Games, right? He's in it.
I think you're thinking of Zathura. Raven, get your fucking head in the game. It is with Corbin Blue though, so almost. Jesus.
I really wasn't thinking of Zathura. I feel like I've seen the poster for Catch That Kid, and I really thought that.
Are you talking about front. Maximilian Drake Theriot?
That's the actor?
That's an actor. I don't know if he's in Hunger Games.
Is he the actor from the movie Catch That Kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's him and Corbin Blue.
And Kristen Stewart?
and Kristen Stewart, and they do like a heist.
Okay. As children?
Yeah, practically.
Okay.
And I remember watching that and being like, she is supposed to be the love interest. Or like,
my God.
you know, not the love interest. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
She's like the star of the movie.
Her hair is very slicked back.
It's very slicked back. And I remember just thinking, there's something about her. I don't know what it is, but I'm cool with it. And then Zathura, where she was the older sister.
Yes, she is the older sister,
And
the angsty older sister.
I remember being like...
To Josh Hutcherson.
Yes.
The kid from Hunger Games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dax Shepard is in that.
I love Dax Shepard so much.
You do.
Oh my God.
We're going to be talking about a Dax Shepard movie next week.
Episode. I just want to say really quick, the caption to Catch That Kid, the movie poster, says, "Thumbs up. As much fun as Spy Kids. More fun than Agent Cody Banks."
Shade
to Agent Cody Banks.
Hey, fuck you.
Anyway.
Malcolm in the Middle. Can't even think of that kid's name. Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
Although I did love Agent Cody Banks.
I don't remember
it. It had Amanda Bynes in it.
I love Amanda Bynes.
I used to love her too.
I hope she's doing all right.
Here's a hot take. I hate the movie She's the Man.
Oh, it's very bad, but I love it.
And that's fine. It's fine for people who love it. Like it's not like an offensive movie, so like I'm fine with people liking the movie. I think for me
it doesn't hold up.
It's because I can't suspend the disbelief that she is even remotely passable as a guy. Yeah, the idea that everyone is tricked by her is the single thing that makes me just be like, this is a joke.
No, it's the same. It's the same early 2000s trope of all the Cinderella story movies where they put a little thing covering the eyes of the main girl. Oh, and then no one knows who she is.
Yeah. It's very like Superman Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Where it's literally like glasses on and they're like, where did Superman go?
Yeah.
And it takes the glasses off. Oh, Superman. Thank God you're here.
That's very early 2000s. I was very nervous. Yeah.
Okay. So there's that. Zathura. All of that, I was into her. Twilight, I was excited, ready to go. I tried reading the Twilight book. Could not do it.
Oh, I read the one.
I know you did. I borrowed yours.
I went to the midnight premiere of the book release of Breaking Dawn.
I do love Barnes that for you. That's a really fun experience.
Yeah, I was number 1003 in line.
Oh my God, incredible!
I went with Erin Blogood's family, and one of her cousins sat next to me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did Kristen Stewart, but we're talking about soundtracks. Let me get back on track.
Yeah, the soundtrack is excellent.
We do this thing with our episodes, with our lists, where it's like a child writing a happy birthday card where it's a giant ass H and then being like, oh, fuck. APPY? Mm-hmm. And then instantly forgetting and going, big ass B. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Birthday.
Yep.
But anyway, so Twilight has an amazing soundtrack. It's got I think, just based on the names of these lists, because I don't know the name of the...
Yeah, neither do I.
I think it might be called Bella's Lullaby, but that's only because it has Bella's name in it. And I associate that song with her, but that may not be the case. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a song by Robert Pattinson, which is very fun. There's also, I really like the band Muse, and they have a popular song on there, Supermassive Black Hole. Mm-hmm. But there's also a Linkin Park song, which I love, Mute Math. But here's the deal. Mm-hmm. Oh, and an Iron and Wine song. Mm-hmm. Flightless Bird, American... something or other, ... it's cut off. That's my fucking life. Jesus, my life is cut off by ... American Mouth. Flightless Bird, American Mouth by Iron and Wine. I went through a real hardcore, like, folk acoustic phase. Man, I was obsessed. You give me an acoustic cover of a song I like, forget about it. Anyway, but the pride and joy of the Twilight soundtrack is Decode by Paramore.
Yeah.
It is such a good song.
It's so good. And it makes such a small appearance in the movie. It's where they're prom dress shopping and you just faintly hear it in the background. It's like the song playing on the store radio.
Oh,
but
really?
it's still so good. It's such an excellent song. I do play it in the car sometimes. That's a car song.
That's a great car song.
Yeah.
I love Paramore to begin with. I love Paramore. I love Hayley Williams.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with her. When she was doing like her concerts and it was like all I would see on TikTok, I was thrilled.
Yeah.
I would like the videos of her doing the same little dance that she did. I don't know how to do it. She did a little dance, and I was like, oh, I love her so much. Anyway, that's my number 5.
Very good.
Twilight.
Very good. It's excellent.
All right, go for it.
My number 5 is the Juno soundtrack. If I was a flower grown wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe of the whole soundtrack. It's very folksy, very like really bebop, like it's not like 60s, but it gives me like a 60s flower power like energy. Okay. Like if you've seen, let me try to describe it.
Please do.
Like, you know that Instagram, not Instagram, that TikTok follower that I love, Birdie, who posts videos of her house and she's got like all shit in it that looks like other stuff.
I absolutely do. Yes.
It's like that energy. Yeah.
Okay.
Like big brown sofa, shag carpet.
Yeah.
Hamburger phone.
I can see that.
Yeah. That's the energy I get from Juno.
Specifically from the soundtrack or from the movie?
Both.
Interesting.
But it's got like interesting people in the soundtrack, like the Kinks. There's a lot of songs by the artist Kimya Dawson.
Okay.
Belle and Sebastian, Sonic Youth. There's an artist called Mott the Hoople. Stop doing that.
I love that name.
Mott the Hoople. I don't know who they are, but it's a good name. Stop.
What is Olive doing?
Scratching at the carpet. I'm afraid she's gonna rip it up.
Oh, it's probably because the cat's outside the door or something. But really quickly, Sonic Youth, I remember because that band comes up in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's like one of the things that Jason Bateman is like showing.
Oh, when he's a creep, yeah.
Elliot, or I just call them by their character's name, Juno, and he's like, oh yeah, I used to listen to this band all the time. I used to be so into music, but ever since I got married, and he's honestly, that movie was great. It was so good.
All the scenes with Jason Bateman are
rewatching it
icky.
now, it's creepy.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. It gives me lick vibes.
Yeah,
but anyway, he mentioned Sonic Youth, and I remember at the time being like a fucking hipster poser and just being like, I have to listen to Sonic Youth. Sonic Youth is cool.
Yeah,
because they're like this. Like old school band, it's just like the Smiths. Like I have to try the Smiths or something, like, you know what I mean. And then I try it, and I'm like, I hate this.
I think
I hate it so much.
I think that way of thinking impacted a lot of people when they saw that movie, with, oh God, what's that movie where the girl's name is Summer? And
500 Days of Summer.
Yes.
I looked up that soundtrack for this list.
Okay. Also, there's a lot of songs by Kimya Dawson, but then there's one by Kimya Dawson and the Antsy Pants.
Nancy Pants?
Antsy Pants.
Antsy Pants. Okay.
Which I think is cute. The Velvet Underground, and then the other, I think, most popular song from the soundtrack by the Moldy Peaches, Anyone Else But You. Which is sung by Michael Cera and Elliot Page at the end of the movie.
Yes.
And I can't think of how that song goes.
What's the name of the song?
Anyone Else But You. Because I just have the If I Was a Flower Growing Wild and Free stuck in my head.
I just typed in Moldy Peaches.
Moldy Peaches was definitely a choice that someone made to name that band. But.
Oh man, you know what's funny? Tony's gonna get a kick out of this. I feel like maybe it's not this exact song, Anyone Else But You, but I remember Felicia House singing an acoustic song with her boyfriend at the time at like the talent fair or open mic thing in high school. And it might have been this
I remember the
song or
boyfriend too.
Like
he had swoopy hair.
They
also sang a song at one of the talent fairs together by a band I love.
I got it in my head. I'm sorry, I have the rhythm in my head.
Go ahead.
Here is the church and here is the steeple. We sure are cute for two. No, I lost it. Fuck!
That's right. We sure are cute for two ugly people. Is that the lyric?
Here's the church and here's the steeple. We sure are cute for two ugly people. I don't see what anyone can see in anyone else but you. And I can't think of the
rhythm or how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like the other most popular song. It's just like a feel good, folksy.
It's a very cute song.
And that's a movie where I do love J.K. Simmons, and he's not a jerk like in the movie that you described to me the other day.
Whiplash. I just watched Whiplash.
He's an excellent man and a loving father.
He is good.
He says that quote where it's like...
Juno's parents in that movie are great.
Yeah, I can't remember who the mom is.
I don't know her name, but I recognize her in a heartbeat.
Is it the mom from The Help?
I think so, yes. I'm almost positive.
I just want to say the quote that...
She's a great actress. She has such...
Get your raggedy ass off my porch. This is Mac McGuff is his name in Juno. Juno McGuff. I forgot that was their last name. That's rough.
J.K. Simmons is Mac.
Mac McGuff.
He looks like a Mac.
But this is the quote that he says from that movie.
Okay.
He says, "Look, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly what you are. Good mood, bad mood, ugly, pretty, handsome, what have you. The right person is still going to think the sun shines out of your ass. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking with." So cute.
Hell yeah.
Irrelevant to the soundtrack, but the soundtrack is excellent.
I love that.
Okay.
That's a good number 5.
Thank you.
Juno's a good pick.
Go ahead.
Okay. My number 4 is Shrek.
Oh, yes.
Shrek is classic.
I need a
very
hero.
Good. I'm holding on a hero at the end of the night. Technically, that's Shrek 2, so wrong. But thanks for playing. So right off the bat, we have a couple songs by Smash Mouth. I know you told me the last time I can't fake my sadness. I know. R.I.P. I cannot believe you laid that bombshell on me. I was like, yes, and it has Smash Mouth and All Star and I'm a Believer, which I think is a Monkees song. Dad, text me when you listen to this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm a Believer. I'm not gonna Google it right now. Or Bing it.
Can you sing I'm a Believer?
I'm
a believer.
Yeah, let me look up the lyrics.
Also, I think in the last episode I said that the lead singer of Smash Mouth died at 66, and I read recently that it was actually 56, which is even sadder.
Wow.
I know. I don't.
Yeah, I saw her face. I'm a believer.
Perfect. Thank you.
Not a trace without of my mind. See, I have to
love.
You know what? I feel like I have decent rhythm when it comes to just like moving and shaking and clapping along, snapping my fingers. But then you tell me to be like, can you sing a little bit of that song? And I'm like, I'm a believer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does it go? And then I look at the lyrics and I have to like really get myself there, and then I can. Do
you remember when we lived with Mommy and you had a drum set?
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Waste of a Christmas present. I hate my childhood self for wasting so many Christmases on the dumbest gifts. Remember when I got like a pimped out bike?
Yeah, your gangster bike.
My gangster bike. Yes. With
I'll
like the handlebars up here. It had like the giant bar in the back.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No.
Except I can't. I fucking can't. I love that song. Like Flowbots.
But I used to try to actually learn how to play the drums. Like I would I was friends with Chris Penta, who played the drums like for band in school. And he would try to explain to me like the foot pedal and then doing something else at the same time. And my brain was like, you get one or the other. You can't do both.
Same.
I couldn't do it.
Same.
It's like, this is stupid. I'm never going to.
It's like when you see the TikToks of the people doing like the pen tapping, and like one pen is doing bump, 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 and the other pen is going bump, 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 bump. And I'm like, how do you do it?
I can't do it.
You musicians and your witchcraft.
Anyway.
Can't stand you. Anyway, so yeah, we have All Star and I'm a Believer, which again, it is a Monkees song. I looked it up. We got Hallelujah, an absolute banger. I love Hallelujah. Every time somebody does it for like an audition for like The Voice or something, it's one of those songs that it's like so cliche to do it for an audition, but if they do it well, I love it.
And it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift.
I don't know the
The
words.
baffled king.
Composing hallelujah. Anyway,
It's a great song.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I took. Anyway, Bad Reputation, which is in this.
I don't give a damn about my reputation. Yep.
For the movie was actually performed by Halfcock, but it's originally Joan Jett.
Yeah, I was confused when we talked about this last time because I thought it was Joan Jett, and then you said Halfcocked, and I was like, "What is that?"
You were like, "Oh, I didn't know the name of her band was Halfcock," and I was like, "I honestly don't think it is," but I didn't say anything. Anyway, there's "I'm on My Way" by the Proclaimers. I'm on my way.
Yeah, you did this last time too, and I don't know that song.
Damn it. Okay. And then there's a song called Like Wow by Leslie Carter. And she, R.I.P., is also not with us any longer. But she is the middle sister in between Nick and Aaron Carter.
Oh,
Leslie Carter.
Nick is the last remaining Carter.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
At least like in showbiz. I don't know about like there might be a fourth. You know, there's like a
other
fourth
siblings.
Jonas brother. Speaking of which, fuck Joe Jonas.
Honestly.
Are you kidding me? I saw somebody on TikTok do a whole thing where he was playing as all the different Game of Thrones characters, and he was like Varys talking to the Hound. It was so funny. What do you think we should do about this? And it was just like, I think we should kill him. Yeah. And then, but his impressions were actually good.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I've seen a ton of stuff about how I follow this one TikToker who all she talks about is celebrity news, which is one of my guilty pleasures. And she follows a bunch of people on TikTok who are crisis PR managers.
Oh.
And
yeah.
They discuss like what celebrity PR managers do in situations like this. And she said the reason that like all you're seeing is like bad stuff about Sophie Turner, like how she went to the bar and took shots, and because of that everyone's like she's a terrible mom and doesn't care about her kids, is because that's what Joe Jonas's PR team is doing. Yeah. And Sophie Turner's PR team is doing nothing. They're saying nothing. That's why you're not seeing any articles about bad Joe Jonas parenting, because she's staying quiet, and because she's staying quiet, she looks graceful. And that's like the good strategy to take.
Interesting.
Because a lot of people are hating on Joe Jonas because
he's trashing.
He's trashing Sophie Turner, the mother of his children. Yeah, people don't like that, dude. So
somebody made a joke about him being like the reason that they broke up was because Sophie Turner kept holding the TV remote above his head.
Yeah, I saw one.
Let him get it.
I saw one that was like she kept putting all the spices in the top shelf.
And it's literally like he's not that short. He's just shorter than her. Yeah. And it was just so funny. Like
so funny.
I love the internet sometimes. Sometimes the internet is so good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
So my number 4 is Shrek.
Excellent.
Now your turn.
My number 4 is Dumplin'. Ah. It is the movie that is a lot of Dolly Parton songs. Yes. I think it's based on a book. Excuse me, but the book is based around all these Dolly Parton songs.
Yeah. I do love a good Dolly Parton song.
Yeah. There's so many good ones. And this movie features Jennifer Aniston and Danielle McDonald as the main mother and daughter. And they are excellent. Danielle McDonald is an excellent actress. She was also in another movie that I saw of it's a coming of age movie. She's very good. She stars in a lot of things where the main character, because she's not I guess what you would call conventionally attractive. So she stars in a lot of movies where the main character has weight issues or body image issues. And I find them to be very relatable. So everything she's been in has been excellent. But the movie has all these excellent Dolly Parton songs. 9 to 5, working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. So good. Of course, Jolene, an excellent.
Yeah, that song is so good.
Just because I'm a woman, better get to living. Just a little more can and love along the way. That's about all the words I know to that song.
Yeah.
Girl in the Movies. Holding On to You, Here You Come Again, Two Doors Down. If I heard these songs play, I might be able to sing along because I've seen Dumplin' so many times, but at the present moment, cannot think of a single word.
It's so hard sometimes to look at the title of a song and be like, how does it go?
I have to know like all the words in order for me to do that.
Yeah, there's a couple songs like that. There are some rap songs that I like in my drive from college back home, the like 3.5, 4 hour drive from College Park, Maryland to where we live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I had like a CD player and I would literally like do half the verse until I could get that part perfect, and I would just keep rewinding. And it would be the whole 3.5 hours, one song.
Okay.
Until I got it. And that's the reason that I know almost, not literally, but almost all the lyrics to A Milli by Lil Wayne.
A Milli. Yeah.
A millionaire. I'm not going to do it. It's very embarrassing. It's so white. And Give Me the Loot by Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, Jesus.
I fucking love that song so much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's that movie is so good and angsty, and the music just fits so well. Every Dolly Parton song.
Dolly Parton is really good. Is she considered country?
Freaking love it.
She is, right? Like, I mean, Dollywood and Nashville, and I just think of Dolly Parton when I think of that. But like, I like Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
I think it's a different era of country that I'm down for.
Yeah.
Because I do not like country, you know this. But like, for some reason, I'm down for Dolly Parton.
I love her.
I'm not down for like any current country music.
That's fair.
Especially like some of the upbeat ones, like I can mess around with like in the summer, like when it's nice out.
Yeah.
Maybe not summer. I hate summer, but like, you know what I mean. When it's decent
country music
out,
is very summer centric.
It
in my opinion
needs to be. I feel like
like
the idea of listening to a country song during the winter months and just being like, hold my beer. Yeah. I'm in the cornfield. Just like get out of my life. With your twang.
But I do love Dolly Parton. She definitely is country. But she did also write a lot of music for other singers, and I know that she wrote a very famous Whitney Houston song. Like the most famous Whitney Houston song. I can't think of what it's called right now. But she wrote it, and I thought that was interesting. She's also the godmother of Miley Cyrus.
I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. That's fantastic. I just want to give a little shout out. Tony won't forgive me if I don't. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yes.
A phenomenal movie / musical. Oh, it's so fun.
I just remember there being a lot of boobs.
No comment. I love that movie because of the story.
Okay.
And also, I feel like it was very
progressive for its time.
Progressive in the sense that like the movie is very pro Dolly Parton. She is like the madam of this. Obviously, in the title they call it a whorehouse, but like this chicken ranch, I think they call it, or something like that. This like brothel. I don't know what else to call it, but it features a lot of sex workers and stuff like that, and it's very progressive about how they are viewed and stuff like that. Obviously, there's like the bad guys, but the bad guys are the ones who are trying to close them down and stuff like that. Yeah. It is crazy. It's a crazy film. I highly, highly recommend it. It is fun.
It doesn't even let you type it in on Google because Google won't auto-populate the word whore. Oh, it also stars Burt Reynolds. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Mona, Dolly Parton, runs the Chicken Ranch, a brothel with a long history in a small Texas town. The locals have a good relationship with the institution, and Mona is respected in the community.
I love it.
The sheriff, Burt Reynolds, also looks out for the Chicken Ranch due to his past with Miss Mona. However, when pious reporter Melvin Thorpe exposes the brothel, outside interests want it shut down, putting the governor in a tough spot. That's the plot, according to Google.
There's the plot.
Yeah. Anyway.
Go check it out. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right. My number 3 is a movie, and I love when movies do this, where they make the soundtrack part of the movie, not just in like a musical aspect where like the characters don't hear the songs going on that add to the intensity of the scene or something like that. But sometimes they do, or sometimes the music is worked into the movie in such a way where it is important to the movie and also just done in a fun way, like done in a good way. And I think that's what Guardians of the Galaxy did really well.
Is your next pick?
My next pick is Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. So it's got a lot of 70s music. It's really important to the plot. The whole movie starts with Peter. And he is a little kid, and his mom is passing away from cancer, and he's got a little Walkman with headphones and stuff like that, and there's a mixtape in it called Awesome Mix Volume 1, and it's given to him from his mom, and it's all of his mom's and his favorite music, and it's all like 70s stuff. And then he gets abducted by aliens, and then that's why he is Guardians of the Galaxy and not like Earth. But then the songs become part of the movie, both in soundtrack and in the movie itself. Like there's a scene where this one song, Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede, is really important. There's like, he gets arrested and he's going into prison, and obviously they take your stuff from you, right? So they take his Walkman, but it's so important to him. It's like the last thing he has of his mom, and it's super important to him. And there's like this alien guy who's like going through all the prisoners' belongings and sees this Walkman and puts it on, and you just hear the beginning of the song. It's a really good song. The beginning, I don't understand it. It's a different era. I don't understand it, but the beginning of the song goes ooga shaka, ooga shaka.
Oh,
ooga shaka.
Okay.
And then it goes, I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. And then it goes into the song.
Okay.
But anyway, Peter sees this and gets pissed off and is like, look, give me that back. Like, that's mine. Like, don't da-da-da-da, whatever. And gets beat up by the prison guards and stuff. But, like, it's a really important thing in the movie. And I just think the soundtrack was great. It was so fun. It was a lot of songs that, like, I don't normally listen to. I'm not a huge, like, oldies fan. Like, I don't listen to a ton of 70s music. I like 80s and 90s. I actually don't fuck with a ton other than late 90s, maybe. But, there's just so many good songs on that list. Cherry Bomb is really good. Go All the Way by the Raspberries. I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum.
No, we did this last time too.
We did this last time? Let me try it one more time. Going up to the spirit in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the best. All right.
Not a day in my life.
Well, I wonder if you heard it from the real people and not from me poorly singing it.
The last time you said Spirit in the Sky, my brain immediately starts going, Lucy in the Sky.
A different song that doesn't say Spirit in the Sky. You just heard the word sky and you're like, Beatles.
Yeah.
What about Beatles though? Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Classic. Yeah, it's just great. There's David Bowie songs and stuff. It's so fun. And it's just a great soundtrack. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got like the fun songs that fit the action scenes, or like the opening, other than the scene where he's like a little kid. The first scene where you see him as an adult, he is on like this weird planet and he's like going around, and there's like weird little monsters. They're kind of small, but like cat sized, I guess. And they're like jumping at him and he's just kind of blasting him and stuff. But it starts with him like putting the thing on and he's just like jamming to himself, and obviously you as the viewer are listening to it too, and it's just like, it's cool how it's mixed in. I thought they did a great job with that.
Yeah,
but that's my number 3.
Very good. I know that song, that movie is like, a lot of people like the music from it. Yeah, it's a thing like on the Disney park ride. Each time you ride it, you get a different song that I believe is from the soundtrack, and people go crazy about what song they get. Yeah, it's fun. It was a fun movie. I mean, honestly, I know Chris Pratt is
fuck Kim.
Yeah.
For so many reasons, but like,
yeah,
that movie was great. When that movie came out, I was so pumped about it.
Yeah,
I
know people love the
movie. It became like
movie.
one of my favorite Marvel movies for a long time.
Yeah.
And then the second one completely lost me, where I was just like, this is so much not as good. It was hard. Sequels are hard to begin with.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, hey, Shrek did it.
I know. It can be done.
DreamWorks. If DreamWorks can
Lion
do
King
it.
2, I think is better than the original. Hot take.
Whoa.
I know. I said it.
Let's
okay.
get into it.
My next one, my number 3 is Someone Great. It's a current movie starring Gina Rodriguez and Brittany Murphy and Brittany Snow and the third actress whose name I can never remember.
Okay.
And it's a really cute movie about Gina Rodriguez is in like a 10-year relationship and they break up at the beginning of the movie, and then it's all about her journey to like healing from this relationship. And she like hyper fixates the whole movie on going to this like music festival concert thing. And they do a bunch of crazy stuff to get tickets and go, and but it's got a ton of good music. There's so many like great scenes. I have like so many songs from the soundtrack on my phone to listen to in the car. Deeper by Saint Kava, Supercut by Lorde, Truth Hurts by Lizzo. It's the movie that has that famous scene
where she's like, the roommate comes in with like groceries.
Yeah.
And the girl is already like day drinking and like singing in her underwear kind of. Yeah.
Warm and great till they gotta be great. Yeah. I just took a DNA test.
Turns out I'm 100% that bitch.
And they're just dancing and it's so good.
By the way, her name is DeWanda Wise.
DeWanda Wise. That's the third actress. Yeah. And there's a scene. The next song that plays right after "Truth Hurts" by Lizzo is "Mansard Roof" by Vampire Weekend. And it's a song.
Dude, I love Vampire Weekend.
It's a song that like makes her feel sad about her relationship, and when it comes on, it like bums out the room. DeWanda Wise's character is like, "Oh, this is sad. Let me go change the song." And then Gina Rodriguez is like, "No, let it play." And then she just sits there in her feels and is sad, and you're like, "Okay, moving on." But there's so many good songs. There's The Jump Off by Lil' Kim. Dreaming of You by Selena. They sing that song. The three of them sing in a bodega. The three of them sing. And then the bodega man tells them that they need to leave because they're singing too loud. And then Brittany Snow yells at her and she's like, "You can't anger your bodega man. I did that and I had to go 3 blocks to the bodega because they live in New York and it's so cute." Karaoke by Big Freesia, I think is how it's pronounced, and Lizzo.
Yeah, they're great.
Great One by Jessie Reyez. I love Jessie Reyez and I discovered her because of this movie. I want to be a great one. Missing You by Robin. I also love Robin. Moon River is a cover by Frank Ocean. I love the song Moon River. I first heard it in an episode of Sex and the City. Moon River. Okay. I'm watching you in style. Something like that. But it's so good. It's a very old song. I think it's by, let me see who it's originally by. Audrey Hepburn? What? She sings it in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
There you go.
Moon River was a hit single for Jerry Butler in 1961. But it's an excellent song. Exit, please. And it's a fantastic movie. There's also a song at the end called International Players Anthem by UGK and Outkast. I don't know.
Outkast.
But yeah, you bop along to the music the entire time. There's a scene where they're all hungover. They drink the whole movie. Like no human could drink the way that they drink in the movie. Like they get super day drunk. They take a nap. And then they like wake up and she like reaches for the like bottle of alcohol and like swigs it, and it's like no one would do that. Like you're half dead. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they get up and they like go do stuff like around town, and it's like there's no way. But they wake up from their hangover nap, and one of them puts on their like college get ready playlist, and it's like all these like rap songs, and it's like they're just bopping, and then there's like a montage of them trying to get ready in different outfits.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's like one of those movies where if you play it on the TV and you put the volume real loud, you could be in the living room like dancing along. Like I used to do that in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent soundtrack. So good. Someone great.
Love that.
You should watch it. Yeah.
I know that Lakeith Stanfield is in that.
He
I'm
is.
a big fan because he's also in my next one, my number 2.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. My number 2 is a movie that I had heard of. Like I remember seeing the trailer of it as it was coming out and being like, that's probably so good. And then I fell off the face of the earth and I never heard of it again. And then it was on TV one day, on one of the services or whatever, and I was like, I got time. Let me watch this movie. And it was so freaking good, and I was so pumped by it. Anyway, the movie that I'm picking for my number 2 soundtrack is The Harder They Fall. So this is a sort of a Western movie with like cowboys and gunslingers and that kind of stuff. Specifically with a very predominantly black cast, and it's supposed to show a lot of the true. I mean, obviously, it's like a scripted fake story, but it's supposed to show like the at least somewhat accuracies of the fact that there are black cowboys, that like black cowboys and black gunslingers and stuff like that. That is true.
Right.
You don't think about it a lot because the way American education works and whitewashing and blah, blah, blah. But it was incredible. It was so good. Like, I had so much fun with it. Lakeith Stanfield plays like a bad guy, technically. And the scene where him and... God, I cannot remember her name, and it's going to freaking destroy my life. They go after... Idris Elba, who's like the main villain.
He's a good villain.
He's so good as a villain. And he's so good at accents, like American accents and stuff. Like, I see comedians talk all the time about when they first realized that Idris Elba wasn't from Baltimore because of his role in The Wire. And being like, what? He's got a British accent. Like, I thought he was one of us. It's so funny. But yeah, there's a scene where Lakeith Stanfield's character and... this other woman that I cannot place her name right now. The only name that's coming to my brain is Angela Bassett, and it's like I know that she's not Angela Bassett.
I don't know Angela Bassett from anything other than that thing on TikTok where they were making fun of her.
Well, fun of her. I think it was Regina King is who I'm thinking of. Okay. Regina King, Lakeith Stanfield go onto a train. They like hijack a train that is a prisoner run where they're like taking the prisoner, Idris Elba, to like a different prison or something like that, and they break onto it, and it's so badass, and like all the music in it works so well, but it also works well in like a really fun way because it's so interesting. It is music that is predominantly by black artists, almost entirely. And what, Raven, you want me to thank you for the little Velcro rose that you gave me and the curly Q. But it's a lot of hip hop and a lot of reggae, which is one of those things. Like if somebody were to just say to you, hey, there's this Western movie. I know you're not like a Western movie kind of person, but like if they were like, hey, there's this Western movie and it uses a lot of reggae,
I would think
there's a part of you that's like, oh, does that work? It fucking works. Like, I don't know who directed this movie, but it was, I loved this movie. I thought it was director James. Wow, that's a weird way to spell James. Jeymes. Oh. James Samuel.
Makes me want to say
wow.
James.
The original score of this movie was composed by the film's writer and director. So he also did the score. Which is another thing maybe we'll do an episode about in the future, where it's like the instrumental music. But anyway, a lot of fun. So yeah, there's a lot of Jay-Z songs. There's Coffee with a K, Koffee. There's Jay-Z, Kid Cudi, Lauryn Hill, who I'm obsessed with. I love her so much. Mayra Andrade, Laura Mabula, Barrington Levy, CeeLo Green, Alice Smith.
Oh, CeeLo Green just put out that new song. I don't even know if it's new, where people are doing the Baltimore Strut. And I'm obsessed. Anyway.
There's a song by Seal. I know. Doesn't Mom love Seal?
You would think that, wouldn't you? Could be wrong, though.
Could be wrong. You never know
about everything that Mommy likes.
It's so funny because, yeah, I feel like I know so much about Dad's childhood and Dad's like family and upbringing and stuff like that. And Mom's is honestly a mystery.
Yeah, I think it happened to me one time where I thought she loved Barry Manilow. And I said something to her and she was like, I don't love Barry Manilow. And I was like, I don't know anything about you. I think I just make up stories in my head because you tell me no details.
Yeah. We need to figure things out. We need to start grilling her more.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is an incredible movie. The soundtrack is really, it's amazing. It's sick. If you like hip hop and reggae, this movie is just so good. And the soundtrack bumps. I freaking love it. I remember like the soundtrack also like has a lot of skits in it. Like, because I'm looking at this and it'll be like Jonathan Majors, and I'm like, Jonathan Majors sings a song in the what? Like, he's the main actor. What are you talking? And then it'll be like skit in parentheses next to the name of the song. And what are and like he just
partakes in the skit. He doesn't sing.
It's probably a scene from the movie or something like that.
Oh.
But when they put skit, it reminds me of older hip hop albums like P.D. Pablo and stuff like that, where they would put skits on things. So you'd be like listening to the CD all the way through, and it would go from one rap song into a skit where it's like a joke, like a little skit.
I think Eminem did this once.
It's so interesting that, I mean, they don't do it anymore, and I don't know if it's just because like, why do I don't know, but like it was fun and interesting, but it was also like a little annoying when you're like trying to listen to it all the way through and you're like, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah.
The CD player's all the way over there.
Yeah.
But it does have much nostalgia. But anyway, that's my number 2.
Very good. The Harder They Fall sounds like an old movie.
It has vibes.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
My number 2, I actually changed from the first time we did this.
It feels like you've changed all of these, or at least the order.
Yes, because of this one.
Okay.
My number 2 is 50 Shades of Grey.
Whoa.
Yeah. The soundtrack is so good. I can't believe I didn't include it the first time. It's got so many good songs. Okay. I Put a Spell on You, Annie Lennox. I put a spell on you because you're mine. So good.
It's a good song.
Earned It by The Weeknd. Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding. Love Me Like You Do.
I used to be obsessed with Ellie Goulding. I think Tony was too.
Yeah, he was.
Like, let me be really specific. I like all of the songs that Tony likes, and that's where that ends. Yeah. He likes all of the songs that I listen to that he also likes.
You're a square in a rectangle.
There's a huge amount. Exactly. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. You get it.
Yeah, I get it. Haunted, performed by Beyonce.
Queen Bee.
Yep. I'm on Fire by AWOL Nation.
Oh. Okay.
Written by Bruce Springsteen.
Very interesting. I think AWOL Nation does that song. Sail. I could be wrong.
I think they do that song also.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. A Crazy in Love remix. It's like slow.
Oh.
And like spooky kind of.
I love spooky.
Witchcraft, performed by Frank Sinatra. I love witchcraft. No.
I hear hot take. Can't stand Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I find him to be interesting.
I don't like.
I think he was low-key involved with the mafia. Oh, I love crooning.
Oh, he's interesting. I'm strictly music.
Oh.
I don't like his music.
You don't like crooning as a
disgust.
Oh, I like it.
I don't feel that strongly, but no.
So you don't like the Bublé?
I can't stand. Not in a million years would I ever want to see him perform. No offense.
You don't like his Christmas album?
So nice. No.
I love it.
No, not at all.
Oh my god.
I also not a big Christmas music fan. So get used to that.
I can't even talk about that. One Last Night by the Vaults, which I can't sing, but is an excellent song, and a song that I very often listen to on planes. I feel like it's a I look out the plane window and I'm in a movie type of song. I Know You by Skylar Grey. And then there is a Danny Elfman. He makes an appearance. He performs a song called Anna and Christian. And also, Did That Hurt? But it's just so good. It's just like a moody, like it's almost Twilight vibes, like dark, like October fog, like dim streets, sweater weather soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of songs where, like, similar to Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson, I see that a lot on TikTok. It's the song you listen to when you're like staring out the window and you feel like you're in a movie.
Oh god, yeah.
And you're like pretending that you're in the movie. This is your scene.
Dude,
it's those songs.
Time,
yeah, I still do it. It's mostly when I'm like sad, like crying or in my feels.
You have to be in a special headspace. And you normally have to be alone and you have to have headphones.
You have to be alone. You can't be in a movie with other people. Like if me and you are on a plane, I'm not in a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Olive, you need to stop doing the most.
Yeah, Olive's doing the most. She's getting antsy.
Yeah, for me, my movie moment was, it's so specific. I was in Chicago. This is like really, literally what comes to mind when I think of that vibe of like feeling like you're in a movie when you're listening to certain music. I was listening to Arcade Fire.
Oh.
While in Chicago for spring break. And I was just like walking. We weren't supposed to be alone, but it was just like, I was one of the leaders, so I was like, fuck you guys. And I just went to like literally a pharmacy. Just because I was like invoking that feeling. Like I was intentionally doing it. And the pharmacy, it was like, a CVS kind of thing, was right across the street from the hostel we were staying at. And I was like, I can do this really quickly. Because Dad has drilled into my head that like if you're walking alone in a city that you don't fully know, probably best not to have headphones in for danger reasons.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's an interesting number 2.
Yeah. 50 Shades. Don't sleep on the soundtrack. All the movies have excellent soundtracks, but the first one is just so iconic.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. All right. Time to get to our number 1s. Now, my number 1 is the soundtrack for the movie Cruel Intentions. Yep.
I've never seen this movie, but I have heard of it.
I honestly...
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
It's Sarah Michelle Gellar, Reese Witherspoon, and some no-name dude who was an integral part of this movie and maybe other weird movies from the 2000s. And I don't think I've ever seen this guy ever again in my entire life.
He had his time.
I can't think of anything
it's over now.
He has done recently. But anyway... yeah, it just has a bunch of very like it's all of the songs are like of that era. I feel like they have that vibe, and it's
when
very
did the movie come
like
out?
Raven.
You said of that era. What era?
Early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's fine. Early 2000s. Exactly. That's an era.
The movie came out. 1999.
Okay.
So same, early 2000s, practically. But yeah, it has a song by Placebo. It has Praise You by Fatboy Slim. I love that song.
Excellent.
You know it. Yep. And all of these songs, I feel like I'm going to say them and you're going to be like, and you're not going to know any of them. Because they're all, and like, to be frank, I was looking up because this soundtrack has always stuck in my brain as like, this is a great soundtrack. And I was like, when we decided to do this episode, I like looked up the soundtrack and I'm like looking at the songs and I'm just going, I know 2 of them. Just by looking at the names and the artists, like the song titles and the artists, I was like, 2 of these are good.
I'm surprised you chose this as your number 1.
Because then I listened to the different songs and I was like, oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, yes, this is great. But they're like, it's not like All-Star Smash Mouth where you're like, I know exactly what band that is.
Yeah.
I still listen to this song or hear it in other IP or something like that. It's like Coffee and TV by Blur. When have you ever heard of a band called Blur?
Nope.
Never. I don't even know who they are. Is it a man or is it a woman? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I listen to the song on YouTube and I go, oh, yes.
Okay.
I do like this song. And that's how it is for practically the entire soundtrack.
Okay.
So, but it's so good. And it's not necessarily, some songs might be driving music. A lot of this actually isn't driving music. Okay. But it's just like a vibe that I really, really love.
Okay.
It's such a fun isn't even the right word.
What's the vibe?
The vibe is honestly, it's very like October Fog.
It's a great vibe.
It's a very October Fog. It's like I want to go for a walk in the park and it's misty out. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's got Colorblind by Counting Crows is probably the most notable song that most people have heard of. That one. And then also Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve. Okay. Are you familiar with that song?
Maybe if it played.
Don't worry. I'm going to do you one better.
Okay.
Because I'm going to sing it.
Okay. Perfect.
Let me look up the lyrics and get right into it. 'Cause it's a bittersweet symphony.
Oh, yes.
In this life.
Yes.
There you go.
I do know that song.
Trip on Love by Abram Moore. Addictive by Faithless. Yeah, literally. Secretly by Skunk Anansi. What the hell? Coming Up From Behind, Marcy Playground. I'm like, have you heard of any of these bands?
No.
Neither have I. That's the crazy part.
Okay.
And honestly, I dig that. I dig that the director was like, we'll pick 1 or 2 songs that are like popular. And then let's pick a bunch of random ass songs. But that specifically fit for the vibe of the movie. And they do. And maybe at the time of this movie coming out, people were like, oh, Blur. I love Blur. I'm a Blur head.
I'm surprised you saw this movie.
Same. I think I saw it because it was one of those like classic teenage coming of age movies. It's heavily referenced in Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, okay.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar plays like the bad girl.
Yeah.
And she like does coke and stuff.
Man, you ever watch old clips of Buffy?
Nope.
Her acting is
technically yes, but
interesting.
I don't think it's her fault. I think it's that show. That show is a different era. It's very charmed, very like
charmed.
We're supposed to be cheesy as hell.
Yeah.
Like it was like the directors were like, no, you're saying it like a real person would say it. I need you to say it like Buffy would say it. And she was like, all right, fine. A vampire? That's not how her voice sounds, but you know what I mean. Yeah. How do I like my steak? Wooden. Kills the vampire.
Yeah, it's like that.
If that's not a line in like that show, I would be genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Now, holy shit, I need to look that up. All right, go for your number 1.
Okay, my number 1 is a movie called Ibiza Love Drunk.
Oh, fuck yes. I was nervous because
it's a random movie that I think maybe not many people have seen, but it's excellent.
So good.
It's a cutesy, funny rom-com.
Look it up on Bing.
Look it up.
It's fun.
So fun. It's just like the lowest of stakes fun movie that has the best music. I consider this movie a like drunk movie. It's like I like to put it on when I'm drinking. because I just like to get down and dance to all the music that plays. Mi Gente by J Balvin is such a good song. It's like the opening song, I think, just for 2 seconds. Like, I'll just stop it there. Like, just from that. It's so good. Booty Bounce by Tuhamo. Rock the Bells by Boys Noise. Animals by Martin Garrix.
Oh. You're animals.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Poison by Martin Garrix. How Deep Is Your Love? Calvin Harris. How deep is your love? It's like the ocean. Yeah. So good. There's a song called Awoo by Sophie Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
Suakara by Major Lazer. It's a lot of like EDM
Lazer,
pop, like you're bumping in the
That's
club.
another one where it really fits with the movie.
Yes.
Like similar to kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, how it really is like music is important to the plot.
Yeah.
And then it works its way in.
Yeah. The whole time they're chasing a DJ. So
Rob Stark.
He makes an appearance in a lot of things we talk about, I'm starting to realize. But he's
a good actor.
He's a great actor.
He's a good actor.
And he's got his real accent in this movie. So I think when you use your real accent, you're an even better actor because you're not focusing on changing your accent.
Yeah, because I know that he had to change it slightly for Game of Thrones, not a ton, but a little bit.
I think
Same
he's
as
Scottish,
I think you're right,
or Upper Northern Irish or something like that.
Something.
And in Game of Thrones, he's British. He's got a British accent.
Well, he's still northern British though, and it was because I remember watching an interview with Kit Haring. This is his last name, Harrington. Sean Bean can't do accents, so everybody in the Stark family had to do
his accent.
Yeah,
yeah,
which was like literally it. It was
That's
like
so funny.
Season 1, and now we have to do this accent forever.
Yeah, well. Honestly, play to your strengths, because I think that hits a lot of actors, like Emma Watson in Perks of Being a Wallflower. Not good because she's doing an American English accent.
Yeah.
Anyway, Life on Mars, David Bowie. Despacito. Like, so good. Feel So Good by Beds and Beats. There's just like a lot of random like EDM bumping club songs. Peanut Butter Jelly.
Peanut butter jelly time.
That's
all I can think of.
Yeah. It's just
that probably isn't.
Get Your Freak On, Missy Elliott.
Get your freak on. Get your
Light by San Holo is the last song. San Holo. I just want to see the light. It's so good. It's so good. It's such an underrated movie. It's so fun. The music is literally next level.
Yeah, if you're looking for like Raven put it perfectly, this is a very low stakes movie.
Yeah.
This is not the movie you watch because you want to write your dissertation for your film theory class. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that drives me nuts. I was really trying. That's why I prefaced or I sort of amended my review for Joker a little bit by saying, if you're not trying to be like, why did the director do this? Or what's the deeper meaning? Is this a commentary on the... Then, yeah, it's good. You know, whatever. But if you are trying to do that, then Joker sucks.
Yeah.
But a Bee's the Love Drunk...
Now, it's not a look deep into it movie. It's a very surface level, fun...
Yeah.
Just have a good time. Like, don't think too hard about it. Not every movie
has to have super deep, representation on the meaning of life or whatever. Like,
no, it's just a good time. It's just a good time.
Yeah. Anyway, I really did love that movie.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
I mean, I was drinking then.
Yeah.
Both like in life and at that moment.
Yeah.
I think it's been since June 15th.
It's awesome.
I know.
It's such a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, it's almost September. Today's September 12th when we're recording this. So crazy. Awesome.
Yeah.
So there's our top 5 soundtracks. Again, we have an email address, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. Send in your favorite soundtracks. What did you think of our soundtracks? what do you look for when you look for a soundtrack or pick a soundtrack that you like or something like that. Also, remember to follow us on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all of the things at Hessy and Maven, one word. And make sure to smash that like button. I really do hate that, but it is funny to say. And give us 5 stars and all of those things. And tell your friends and family and enemies all about Hessy and Maven. All right. Well, thanks again for listening to this episode of Hessy and Maven. Tune in next time where we talk about something else.
Bye.
Bye.